Why your 30s are an advantage, not a setback. In your 20s, most people have neither money nor clarity. There's enthusiasm, but the income is small and the decisions are chaotic. By your 30s, the picture changes. You know who you are, what you want, and what you refuse to spend your life on. Your income is higher and steadier. You know how to finish what you start. That's why starting at 30 is often more powerful than early but messy attempts at 22. You have three resources you didn't have before: a stable cash flow, discipline, and a real sense of your priorities. The only thing missing is a system. That's what we'll build. Let's do the math without magic. You start at 30 and set aside $500 a month into a broad index fund with an average historical return of about 7 to 8% a year after inflation. By 40, you have roughly $85,000 to $90,000. Solid, but not jaw-dropping. Then it gets interesting. By 50, the same habit gives you about $245,000. By 60, around $570,000. And that's on a modest $500 a month you barely notice. Raise it to $1,000 a month. Realistic for someone with a steady income in their 30s. By 60, that's over $1.1 million. And at $1,500 a month, which is closer to reachable near 40 as your income grows, the million arrives by 55 to 57. The takeaway is simple. Even starting at 30, you capture 2 to 3 decades of compound interest. The final years deliver the biggest gains. Interest earns interest on itself. Time works for you all the way to the end. To make that concrete, of that $570,000 at 60, only about $180,000 came from your own pocket. The other roughly $390,000 was generated by the market compounding on money you set aside years earlier. You didn't work for that larger half. Your earlier discipline did. That's the quiet magic people underestimate when they think 30 is too late. Your life, decade by decade, 30 to 35, the foundation. These are the years you build the base. First, an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of life, so a broken car or a lost job doesn't knock you off course. Second, an automatic transfer into investments on payday before any spending. Third, killing expensive debt, especially credit cards. No market beats the 20% a year the bank takes from you. The portfolio is still small, and that's fine. You're not laying down a number in an account. You're laying down a habit that will run for decades. Don't judge these years by the balance. Judge them by whether the system runs on its own. If the transfer happens every month without you thinking about it, and the credit card debt is shrinking, you're winning, even if the total still looks unimpressive. 35 to 45, the acceleration. Here, the speed picks up. Income grows and your contributions grow with it, as long as you don't let your lifestyle swallow every raise. That's the classic trap of your 30s. You get a promotion and immediately upgrade the car, the apartment, the restaurants. A year later, you earn more but save the same. Whoever channels the raises into capital instead of expenses is already looking at serious six-figure sums by 45. The money starts visibly working on its own. This is also the decade to make your first big life decisions from a position of strength rather than pressure. Buying a home if it fits your plan, funding a family, or building an income beyond your job. With a growing portfolio behind you, those choices come from calm, not from scrambling. 45 to 55, the momentum. By this age, your capital becomes a force of its own. A portfolio of several hundred thousand at market returns adds tens of thousands a year, sometimes more than you contribute yourself. The money starts working harder than you do. This is where real freedom of choice appears. You can take a risk on a new venture, switch careers, cut your hours, or take a pause because there's capital behind you, not fear. Most people spend their whole lives trapped by the opposite. every decision filtered through, but what if I lose the paycheck? A portfolio that covers even part of your expenses quietly removes that fear from the room, and the quality of every decision you make goes up. 55 to 65. Freedom. If you held the course, by this age, you have capital that can cover your expenses without your active involvement. Work becomes a choice, not a necessity. You decide what to do based on interest, not on the fear of running out of money. This is the life the whole thing was for. Not luxury for show, but calm and the right to own your time. Mornings without an alarm you dread, and the freedom to say no to work that drains you. 3 decisions that determine the outcome. 1. Automate. Don't rely on willpower. Set the investment transfer for the day your paycheck lands. What leaves automatically doesn't get spent by accident. Discipline is a system, not monthly heroics. 2. Don't let your lifestyle grow faster than your income. A raise isn't a reason to live more expensively. It's a chance to invest more. Every time your income rises, send at least half the increase into capital. Your monthly life can stay the same for years, and that's exactly what makes you richer. 3. Hold the course in bad years. The market will fall. It's inevitable. Those who panic sell lock in the loss. Those who keep investing during downturns buy cheap and win on the recovery. Calm during a crisis is worth more than any lucky trade. The best way to stay calm is to never check the balance in a panic and never invest money you'll need in the next few years. That's what the emergency fund is for. Downturns feel like disasters and turn out to be discounts. The most common fear at 30. It's too late, everyone started earlier. Look honestly, most of your peers haven't started at all. The very fact that you're thinking about this and ready to act puts you ahead of a huge number of people. The second fear, I don't have thousands of dollars to start. You don't need them. Begin with what you have. $200, $300, $500 a month. The size of the contribution matters less than consistency and time. A small but steady stream beats large one-off attempts, and you can raise the amount later. The important thing is to open the account and make the first transfer this month, not to wait until you can do it properly. Starting at 30 isn't a missed chance, it's a mature one. You still have 2 to 3 decades of compound interest ahead, plus the income and discipline you didn't have at 20. Your life in 10, 20, and 30 years will be a direct result of the decisions you make in the coming months. The person who starts imperfectly today beats the person who waits for the perfect plan every single time. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment, a big salary, or the right year. You need a plain sheet of paper, an honest look at your spending, and one automatic transfer set up on this very paycheck. That small step is where a completely different life begins. And the best time to take it is the next 30 days, not your next birthday.